Hello and welcome to the RetroMacCast with James and John, where in each episode we'll stroll down the Macintosh memory lane. We'll discuss older Macintosh computers, collecting all things related to the Mac and Apple computer, and current topics from the perspective that only a couple of old Mac fans can provide.
This is it.
This is it. What is this?
Episode 700.
Many people doubted we could make it to 700.
We doubted we could make it to 700.
Yes. And we proved them and ourselves wrong. Here we are. So, well, we got to make it. We got to make it to the end. We got to survive the next 30 to 40 minutes. And then I got to edit it. Let's not count.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Okay.
No.
All right. There you
go. Do we got anybody
Derek
joining
Wright.
us?
Apples Anonymous. Hello, everyone.
Derek Wright, Apples Anonymous. Yes.
Apples has been waiting for a whole week. Actually, 2 at this point. So, dedication there.
And Matthew from Mac Museum is with us too.
Fantastic.
Let's see. Let's hit record on this thing. And let's go in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the RetroMacCast with James and John. This is episode 700 for February 17th, 2025. Good evening, John.
Good evening, James.
We're back after a little bit of a break. I think it was work. I know last week you called an audible.
Yeah.
And I think I knew why you couldn't do it because I was there watching you work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was just a late night. Yeah, we had a VIP, so we had a whole big AV set up. And then after, it was already a late day event, and then we of course had to do all our tear down and get all the AV stuff put away. So yeah, it was a late night.
And I don't remember what happened the week before. Was that you again?
I think it was me again. Yeah, it was very possible.
Late night.
Who knows at this point?
Who knows?
That was 2 weeks ago, dude. Do you think I remember this stuff?
It was probably just to build suspense for the big episode.
That's it.
I know what you're doing. Well, in previous milestone episodes, we've gone out of our way to commemorate it. So we're going to do something a little bit different this week.
Oh?
And not
commemorate.
No, we didn't really do anything special.
Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Wozniak, come here. No.
We just get over the 700 line, and that's enough. That's good enough. But thanks everybody for joining us in the YouTube chat. And what do we got this week? We do have a report on John's project, his scale
finally
Macintosh.
Finally acceptable to show, I think.
Good. All right.
It's been a while.
Well, this is going to be one you're going to want to see the video for. All right. Well, let's take a break and come back with some eBay finds.
Derek says we need to do 700 eBay finds.
In a marathon episode, just...
Dave. Hello, Dave.
Just type vintage Macintosh.
Joshua. Hello.
List them off. Top 700 favorite Mac models. I'm not sure there have been 700. Be close.
I don't know those mid 90 ones where every time they added an extra meg of RAM or an extra 10 megs of hard drive space, it was a totally different number. And then education versus consumer versus possible. It's possible.
That'd be a good question to see if you figured exactly how many. It have to be like it's designated on the case, right? That would mean it's a different model. Right. All right. Let's get some eBay finds up here. Oh, I forgot to report. I'll do it at the end.
Okay.
On my little inventory.
Right. Yes.
One. I'll do it at the end.
Very good. Okay.
All right. Let's put this up here, and oh, that's you.
Oh, sorry. No, that wrong one.
Let's do this one.
Yeah.
All right, let's go in 3, 2, 1. Time now for the eBay finds. A couple of weeks ago, our last episode, we had the Quadra 700, a nice setup here, right? With the original box and all the cabling and owner's manual, keyboard, mouse. No monitor in this, but other than that, pretty well put together. There's even video of it operating.
Always nice.
Look at that. Doesn't come with a monitor. But anyway, this one sold for $1,232 after 4 bids. Yeah. Wow.
Fantastic.
That's over $1,000 for a Quadra 700. And not necessarily, a special model, but yeah, what in good shape. All right. And then we had the very intriguing Microsoft Mac Enhancer. This very strange, like, port translator thing here. I should have bid on this. It only got 1 bid. And
really,
they snagged that for $39.
Oh my gosh. I really hope it's somebody who's got a YouTube channel that's gonna talk about this.
Yeah. Really slick little piece of hardware one, but I had never seen it until we uncovered it. Okay, and finally, oh yes, that bright, like, candy apple red,
one of a kind,
Macintosh
rare look,
512K. That one is still available. The buy it now is $750, or you can make an offer. Okay, this week we'll begin with a poster, one that we haven't covered here as far as I remember. But the title says Apple Macintosh Sailboat Hull Shortest Distance Inspiration Reality Poster Rare.
Now, I'm trying to think. I think I've seen this image used in some sort of marketing material before. Not this poster, but like,
yeah,
I don't know. Like one of the books they had on multimedia or something like that. So, yeah,
there's a series of these where they've taken like some kind of engineering design and then shown how it can be done on a Macintosh. And this one, let's see, it's 20 inches by 50 inches. It says the poster and the listing belong to a 30-year Apple employee. Always been rolled, never folded. What else? That's about it. But it shows the hull of a sailboat and what looks like it's being designed in CAD.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's a 3D drawing and a 2D and then a sketch of it. And let's see if we can zoom in here on the screen. I'm not sure what the software is. It's not like an ad for a particular piece of software.
Right.
And then it says the words Macintosh, the shortest distance from inspiration to reality. And
very nice.
Yeah. It's very nice.
And the poster's in great shape. It's got one kind of crinkled corner, which they show. They make sure to highlight in the photo, which is always very nice when they make sure you know.
They want, for a buy it now, $169.15. No make it offer. That ships from Jacksonville, Florida. Nice poster. And this is like early Macintosh 2 days, right? If I were to put an era on this, is when these posters came out, as I recall. All right, next
we have a cool. It says it right there, so it's true. It's a cool Timex Red iMac alarm clock, Apple Macintosh design. So what we have here is one of those. Again, when the iMacs came out, everyone tried to do something that was tangentially related to it. And this one is very close to the shape. It's got it's got the top half that's color. It's got the bottom half that's a solid color. You got the front bezel. That's the same color as the bottom of the base. Very, 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 very reminiscent. I would have almost said copyright infringement worthy, but apparently they let Timex get away with this. Mm-hmm. And boy, it's pretty pretty close. This would have looked great next to your gumdrop iMac back in the day.
Yeah.
I have to say this is very reasonable on the price. $85 is a buy it now. Obviously, you're not going to have to worry about this breaking apart and shipping the way you would a real Mac of this era. Pretty cool. So they say the clock is approximately 4 inches by 4 inches. Yeah, pretty neat, huh?
Yeah, and yeah, these came in a variety of colors.
Yeah.
I
would say this looks more strawberry than red, at least in these photos.
I'm gonna do some digging, and I think I can uncover all the colors of these clocks somewhere in my archives.
Somewhere in one of your shelves, I was assuming.
No, I think they're boxed up. I've got them like new in the packaging. I think I went on a little bit of a tear many years ago finding iMac inspired stuff like this. So I'll have to take a look. But yeah, cool little clocks. As far as we can tell, Apple did not issue them a takedown, and they were able to sell these for a little while. All right. Next. The quite rare and desirable iMac G3 Flower Power.
Flower Power.
And working.
So, I've only ever seen one of these in person, and it was at your house.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing goes for the Dalmatian. And
Dalmatian.
Photos don't do either of these justice. There is a certain, I don't know. I don't know how to describe the translucency versus the opacity of the print. I know I'm not explaining it well, but boy, it's something else.
Yeah, it is. So this one has a lot of pictures of it showing an operating condition. Of course, has a CD drive. This one has 192 megs of RAM and a 48 hard drive. Installed with OS 9.1. They will include a keyboard and mouse. They are encouraging local pickup. It is located where Leominster, Massachusetts.
Okay.
Yeah, shipping would not be advised. There's just too much to chance. These are quite heavy, and you don't want to crack those plastics. But yeah, looks like to be in pretty good shape. So, what do they want? Buy it now. $615.60. No make an offer.
Yikes.
$615. Is this what they're going for? I don't know. We'll find out next week. And a quick note: Derek says that that poster was much later. That I was off more in the Quadra era. I was thrown off by the monitor and the poster, which looks like the original color monitor that was in the 2 days. So, okay, if that's true. All right, well, we'll find out how these auctions did next week.
All right.
Yep. All right.
Well, while this starts up,
are we ready to go?
I can show the internals and everything while
it
starts up.
I'll hit record. You ready for that?
Let's do it.
All right, go. Okay, so this project, what are we calling it? Do you have a name?
Not really, because I did my little mini Mac.
Yeah.
What do you call an in between Mac?
I don't know.
So my mini Mac was about a 1/3 scale. This one is turned out to be exactly a 60% scale to go with the screen I have.
60%.
60%. Yeah, I guess you could call it that, which not doesn't quite roll off the tongue, does it? MIDI Mac. There you go. MIDI. There you go. Yes, it's the MIDI Mac.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get Apple Records on me for calling it something that sounds music related. There, Derek.
So what inspired this? I think wasn't it the finding
right.
the good model?
No, all right. So the whole thing first started with the Mac Mini that I use as my main driver in the house, which is like a mid 2012, was starting to develop issues every time I wanted to actually connect to anything network related. I had to restart it, and even doing like a reinstall of the operating system didn't fix that. So I found something called a Latte Panda, which was a Hackintoshable single board computer about this big that I was going to put into there and put a Raspberry Pi in to a screen. I found a little 5-inch 640 by 480 screen. I'm like, well, that'll be fun for putting this in there. Everything will fit in just fine. Fried that Latte Panda, sad to say. Got another Latte Panda, and it turns out it was not a Hackintoshable one, and it was slightly bigger, so kind of threw that out. Well, all right, so at the same time this was going on, Apple decided to come out with a brand new Mac Mini that was, freaking amazing. And I finally bit the bullet, and this is I got my first M series Macintosh. This is my first Apple Silicon Mac. And so I've got that there, and I've got my idea of the thing I'm putting here, and I had already printed my first outer shell, and I realized that the Mac Mini would fit inside this 60% Mac case that I made. So I immediately scrapped everything I had been doing, and decided to start from scratch. So I'd be able to fit the Mac Mini in there. So what I ended up doing is I ended up taking that Latte Panda and making that the one that's running the emulator, and then I put the Mac Mini in there. So let me before I actually show the final results, I'll show some of the bits and pieces. Mm-hmm. This was a lot of fun. This used both of my Bamboo printers. I've got an A1 and an A1 Mini. So on the screen, I'm showing all the bits and pieces that I printed that went into making this. You've got the three main parts of the shell: the front plate, the inner cage, and the back, and then all the ancillary bits and pieces for support on the inside, or the upper grates, or power button. Mm-hmm. And so we got that. Let's see here. Get the next picture up here. Eventually. So here's all the hardware that's crammed inside the thing. I was able to find, again, it was a little bit of trial and error to find all the cables I needed to get to work with the Mac Mini. So I am actually using both of the USB-C ports and the audio port on the front of the Mac. Have all been routed elsewhere, so they're all being used, and of course the back ports are totally accessible. And then everything else was to run the Pi and the small screen. And here is a picture of everything crammed inside.
Wow.
A couple other fun things that I did. Let's go ahead and just go over to my camera. Listen, if you want to embiggen me on the screen.
Oh.
Nope, that's not it. Go ahead and you do that. There we go. So here is the final result. 60%. Couple of fun things. The Apple logo that you see down there was 3D printed, just white, and I used acrylic paints to paint it. It's a little fuzzy. Wow. Yeah. And then the back, same thing. I was able to double print the Macintosh badge on the back with the silver, so that actually looks pretty darn accurate. I do have a few more things to do. I do have of course, normally where the battery would have been is where you now access the controls for the monitor. I repurposed the brightness knob is what is actually what I used to turn on the Latte Panda.
Oh.
And of course I had to come up with a solution for the turning on the Mac Mini, so that is that little guy right there to turn on the Mac Mini. You can see the Mac Mini fits in there very nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So far, no heating issues, and I was, kind of stress testing.
Can we see the front again?
Yeah, sure.
I want to see the front. I want to look at the.
Oh, yeah, I do have a. Yeah, I do have a. It was perfect size to put a. So that USB goes to the Mac Mini. I also have a 2 terabyte hard drive stuffed inside there. I didn't opt for the extra storage on the Mac Mini. It was
maybe I missed it. What was in where the keyboard connector would normally be?
Right now, nothing. But that's that is the next part of the thing. Is I found this perfectly sized keyboard to go with it. I've got some water slide decals, so I'll be painting this beige, and that'll actually be running it through the proper port there. And then I was able to download the files for the original, a shell for the original Mac mouse, so I'll be able to do a 60% scale optical mouse to go with it, so it'll all look nice. So I'm very happy with the way it turned out. Again, it was a lot of fun with the troubleshooting. Not troubleshooting, the problem solving of coming up with all the supports, coming up with the way to do the power button, and everything with the 3D printer. So, and I do want to mention that the files that I started with were from Kevin Noki. We've covered a couple of his projects here on the show, including the Bruintosh, which is what this originally came from. Was he did a full size reproduction. So again, I used his files, scaled them down. I will put, if you're wanting to get your own copy of the files, I will put a link here in the notes here in just a little bit, and for if you want to get them.
Yeah, people want to know how you're able to live stream on this podcast with no connections to that Mac Mini.
That's my computer for inside the house. My what I podcast on is a trash can Mac Pro. So yeah, there you go.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, all right. So the Mac Mini wasn't plugged in. Again, this screen, the emulator here is being run off of the Latte Panda. That is the board that you see across the top there. So that is a separate computer for the emulator. And it's running. I originally went ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
And so you don't connect the Mini to that little monitor. It's connected to an external monitor, right?
Right. Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The case, everything, the monitor and everything there is strictly to service the. The Mini is just there along for the ride. It's just a place for it.
The Mini is there, right? Yeah, exactly. It's I'm like, I could have, obviously the Mini could go anywhere, but just the fact that it's all kind of enclosed in there was just kind of fun.
I missed it. So it looks like do you install external speakers in there too? There's a couple extra things in there.
Yes. All right. Yeah.
Or maybe go back to the picture of the.
Yeah, sure thing. So yeah, it has it's kind of fun. Yeah. So one of the things that I use this for is for streaming audio. So what you can see in the picture here is the two speakers on the top are connected to the Latte Panda, and they're actually, I've got the settings in there so that any system sounds from the emulator play through those speakers, but I can hook external speakers up to it for running music. Unfortunately, I have sorry everyone, I have that Latte Panda's running Windows. I tried to do Linux first, but for some reason it didn't like that LCD monitor, so I had to go with the Windows. Yeah. So, and the audio port you see on the below it is the one that's hooked up to the front of the Mac Mini. So that got its own audio port. The Ethernet port, everything else that you see on that top shelf is for the Latte Panda, so I can access all that stuff while it's all buttoned up.
Right. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I think that any other questions out there? No, I think so. I think we're good. Well, fantastic. Well, thanks for sharing with us.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fun. Like I said, it definitely kept me out of trouble for several weeks. I've probably gone through about $50 worth of filament, redesigning and refining things. So
that's not too bad. All right. We're going to move on to some news. And let's go in 3, 2, 1. All right. We're in the news now. I don't know if we ever covered these things. I don't know when they became available, but I snagged one the other day. The Apple IIc Tangy Pack HDMI VGA adapter.
Oh, wow.
Available for $85 over on Assembly Lines at ct6502.org. You see it's got this cool 3D printed case, and it's got little screws so it connects to your 2C, and then you've got your HDMI and VGA ports. I just got this a few days ago. I haven't had a chance to mess around with it, but go over their website. You can see pictures of it in action. Very slick product.
Very nice.
Yeah.
It's great seeing people coming up with ways to connect it to new monitors, but also still retain all the crazy color blending and everything that the 2C, the two models had for that. Yeah.
Yeah, and of course with HDMI, you can then maybe introduce those options for like hooking this up to other stuff and
streaming. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Sure. And it also works on a laser 128. Okay, and found this. It was originally on Hackaday. This is the source article. USB-C in a Power Mac G4. Pierre Dondemont decided his G4 Power Mac needed a USB-C port. So he went about doing it. And so this page documents how he did it. Now, it's not USB-C and with full functionality, like you can't connect a monitor to it or anything like that. It's pretty much a USB-C adapter to the USB card that's installed, but it's still pretty clever. Have a little extender there, and so you could hook up a thumb drive, USB thumb drive, for example.
Definitely just one of those just because sort of projects.
Yeah, but it required making sure that you had a USB PCI card that had the right header pins, that you could get a little adapter. But the end is great. He's got this nice clean look here. Right there. I mean, look at that. That's pretty awesome. Just because you can. All right. And in a couple of days, we're going to get Tim Cook posted this little graphic. Get ready to meet the newest member of the family. And let me mute that sound and play this again. Let's see, what can we glean from this little animation? There's like a little round disc looking thing, and there's like this metallic rolling reflection on the Apple logo. When I see now, a lot of the speculation is around, there's an iPhone SE or an updated iPad or a new MacBook Air or something. But when I see get ready to meet the newest member of the family.
Yeah. That sounds almost like it's a whole new category, right?
It does. It sounds like it's something new. I mean,
that's the front of their new car. That's the front of their new car. That's the front of their new car.
Oh, well, they gave up on that. I mean, that'd be cool too. I think they gave up on the car thing. Wright says Newton 2025. Yeah, that'd be great. So I'm a little excited for this. Just because I hope that it's truly a new member and not a warmed over existing member.
Right.
The current product. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll find out in a couple of days. Okay.
So Derek mentioned that just going back earlier that there's a way to do your own coiled cable gun. I'll definitely have to give that a try. Get a beige cable on this puppy and see if I can get it coiled. That would be great. All
right. Well,
and hang on a second. I am posting. So that is, I'm posting the Bruntosh files. If you ever think you want to do your own. So again, his version actually, I believe, had a CRT in there, or at least a curved. It's a very faithful reproduction of the outer shell. Of course, he put a brand new PC in his, so I had to do a lot of modification to work with what I was doing. But just kudos to Kevin for the amazing amount of detail he put into making these files. They're just fantastic.
All right, let's wrap up the episode. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. That about wraps up another episode of the RetroMacCast number 700. But wait, there's more. I forgot to update everyone on my inventory task.
That's right.
I did fire up another computer. This one is a Performa 631 CD. Talk about one of 700 possible models. The 631 CD model. It booted. Hooked it up.
Fantastic. Excellent.
It was a little touch and go. It started up. I got a chime right off the bat. And I was like, oh, thank goodness, a good healthy chime. And then a flashing, like there was no OS or drive or anything. I heard nothing, like, just a question mark. And I mean, many seconds went by.
Yeah.
And then the hard drive started.
Oh, interesting.
I think the hard drive, having not been run in years, was a little slow to come up, and it did, and then started clicking, and of course the OS loaded, and we were good to go. So I'm very happy that we had another success story.
And I assume you also pulled the motherboard just to make sure battery condition, or pulled the battery, or
it I did not, but I will before I put it away.
Good.
These cases are a little harder to open. I think I might have to get a screwdriver or something.
Yeah. There's usually once you pull the plastic plate, there's like 2 screws in the corner, and then you've got a little handle to pull the board out.
Yeah, Dave is recommending Blue Scuzzy time. Would be well, I mean, it's working. I don't need it works for now.
While you had it up, did you look and see what software was installed on there? Was there anything fun or
pretty much nothing? I must have done a clean install on
this
when I got it, whenever I got it. Just the systems. It did have, it had ClarisWorks installed, maybe some standard like stuff that it shipped with, maybe.
Well, that could have still been that could have still just been from a standard install back then.
I don't.
Stuff depending on.
There wasn't any personal files or anything from the original owner. Nothing cool. No cool. Every once in a while, of course, you'll come across a time capsule from somebody's school days or something. All right. Are we back next week?
I am here. Yeah.
Okay. Well, good. All right. We'll be back next week, and until then, remember, it's not old.
It's retro.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for joining us, especially edition. With all the breaks between shows. So I'm very happy to see everyone could share this very special 700th episode with us.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, I think we're gonna sign off. Hopefully see some of you next week. We'll play a little music, I think, and play our graphic file.
Thanks for listening to the RetroMacCast with James and John. Email listener comments and questions to retromaccast@gmail.com or post comments on our website at www.retromaccast.com.